Time now for Reporters Roundtable to put the headlines in perspective. Bud and Ross both still with us, and Berna Dean Steptoe, our political producer, back as well. Let's start about talking about the main issue that President Trump was, threw out this week. He said, "Take guns first, due process second." My mouth dropped when he said this.
Nixon goes to China.
What in the world are Texas Republicans thinking about this? Well, this was the big fear with Obama the whole time.
The Democrats seem pretty happy with it.
Right. They really were.
Yeah, they would take those guns. But this is, it's ironic that this all comes up at the 25th anniversary of the incident at Waco, where the Branch Davidian compound, that turned into a big argument over guns and should the ATF have been there? And now here we are talking about the federal government again, talking about taking guns.
Yes. Republicans were so stunned. And if you look at local as well as national, they all just went silent. Because it's not their issue that they want to control guns. And it just threw them off, totally threw them off.
And Ross, the NRA said, oh, we had a Oval Office meeting with the president. We got everything back together on the right track.
We'll see.
Really?
I mean, this kind of happened on immigration, where he said something and got off track and then got back on track. I got to say that Texas Senator John Cornyn has one of the best poker faces in Washington. He was sitting next to Trump when Trump said it. He wants a one-shot bill that doesn't go into all of that. Kept a straight face the whole time.
He didn't flinch at all.
And took the opportunity to pitch his bill.
Well, and it was really the House Republicans who got him back on track on immigration. They're working out to get him back on track about guns.
Let's talk about the heavy Democratic turnout for the Tuesday primary. Can Texas Democrats, can they sustain this through November?
Can they sustain it through Tuesday night is my question. Are these votes borrowed from Tuesday vote? Are they people that voted early, for convenience sake, or is there really a new turnout? Are these borrowed voters from Tuesday, or are they new voters, and we get to the end of Tuesday night and go, hey, the Democratic Party got bigger?
You say borrowed voters, are these Republicans voting the Democratic side?
No, are these people who would have otherwise voted on Tuesday but just decided for convenience sake to vote last week or this week?
That's a narrative in a typical election. This is not a typical election. And you're going to see Democrats going to the polls on election night. As you said last week when you dumped that water on us.
Sensitive about it.
No, I think that you're going to see the continued turnout. Democrats are excited.
What do you think, Bud?
What's amazing about this turnout is that you have an education block vote to cross over into the Republican primary and vote for Republicans who favor public schools and public education. So from 3 to 6% of the Republican vote is crossover Democrats. Then you have all these new Democratic voters with no party history that are coming out. It looks like it's not really a Democratic party, it's a Beto party.
No question some races won't be decided on Tuesday. Which ones will go to a runoff, Ross?
The two I'm watching really closely are the two statewide races where George P. Bush and Sid Miller are defending the Land Office and the Ag Commission together. They both should be fine. They're both ahead, but they both could be under 50%. And if an incumbent gets into a runoff in a statewide race, that's an incumbent in trouble.
And we saw that with David Dewhurst and Ted Cruz back in 2012. What are you watching, Berna Dean?
Congressional races, 32, Pete Sessions. That's the question is who will be in that runoff, as well as Congressional 6. Joe Barton's old seat, as to who will be in that runoff.
On the Democratic or Republican side? Or on the Democratic
These are both Democratic races.
I think we'll have a lot of Democratic runoffs. The Democrats don't seem to be focused on any candidate other than in the Senate race. So we'll see how many of these Democratic voters come back in May. District 6, you might have a runoff on both sides for that Barton open seat, and we'll have a runoff. Probably Tarrant County tax assessor is just a four-way party there. So
how about Pat Fallon, Cindy Burkett? They're both running for Senate as well too. Much of a chance there, do you think? I mean, these seem to be tight races.
I think the Hall and Burkett race is very tight. Yeah. The Fallon and Estes race looks like it's going Fallon's way right now.
Wow.
Jason, this is really about red and blue. It's about which shade of red Texas is, and that's what's decided in the primary.
Gotcha. Thank you guys very much. We appreciate it. And thank you for watching as well. ABC's This Week starts in just a moment. We'll see you again next Sunday. Hope you have a good week.